Imagine entering a small, dimly lit cafe late at night, the kind where the air is thick with the scent of stale beer, tobacco smoke, and something slightly acidic like sour wine. The door creaks as you push it open, and stepping inside feels like crossing into another world. A world where time has twisted and slowed, where the night feels like it could stretch on forever. The room is bathed in an intense, sickly yellow light that seems to close in around you. This light comes from a few bright gas lamps hanging from the ceiling, casting long, sharp shadows that seem almost alive, flickering against the deep red walls. The red is not a warm or comforting color. It's harsh, like the kind of red that speaks of unease, a color that clenches at your chest and makes you feel as though the room itself is seething with pent-up emotions. It's a space that feels saturated with loneliness, where you can almost hear the quiet, desperate thoughts of those who have come here to escape the world outside. In the center of the room stands a large billiard table, covered in a vibrant green fabric that seems to pulse against the oppressive red of the walls. The green is stark and almost surreal, a vivid contrast to the murky gloom around it. The billiard balls are scattered across the table, as if someone had abandoned their game in the middle of trying to find distraction but giving up, left them there without a second thought. There's something unsettling about the stillness of the table, an eerie absence of life where there should be activity. The floor beneath your feet feels uneven, worn down by countless footsteps, giving the room an unsteady, tilting sensation, as though it could slide you down into some dark and unknown depth if you aren't careful. It's a floor that's seen too much, soaked up the weight of years of sorrow and loneliness that linger in the very wood. Along the walls, small round tables are scattered haphazardly, draped in green cloth that mirrors the green of the billiard table. Yet they feel oddly lifeless, the kind of green that's more about going through the motions than offering any real comfort. Empty chairs are pushed out as though the people who sat there left in a hurry or simply disappeared, leaving behind only the ghostly impression of their presence. The tables hold half-empty glasses, bottles, and a few stubbed-out cigarettes, marking where silent, brooding figures once slouched, lost in their own dark thoughts. In one corner of the room, quietly manning the counter, stands the bartender, a solitary figure who looks more like a shadow than a person. His eyes are hollow, and his face, worn and tired, speaks of a man who has borne witness to countless stories of bitter regret and agonizing loneliness. He moves slowly, almost mechanically, the way someone does when the weight of every passing hour presses down on them heavily. Above the bar hangs a clock, its hands stark against the white face, but the time it shows feels almost irrelevant. The clock ticks away endlessly, yet it belongs to a time that feels suspended, a time where the early hours of the morning blend into the late hours of the night with no dawn in sight. It's the kind of time that traps you, making you wonder if morning will ever come or if you are doomed to live in this eternal, suffocating night. This is the Night Café, a place where the walls themselves seem to whisper tales of despair and solitude, where the light is brutal, exposing the raw nerve of human existence. Every piece of the room, from the ghostly green of the billiard table to the worn-down, tilting floor, seems to pulsate with a quiet madness. It's a place where the darkness within people is drawn out, laid bare under the sickly yellow light, leaving them to grapple with the relentless night, a night that holds no promises of respite.